So I was trying to figure out what I could answer the second question with, but I do have a few tests coming up next week, and it's an interesting question to try to ask, to try to or to probe first year philosophy students with. So the outright lie versus the misleading truth. I think Sandel and the formulation that both Sandel and the first formulation, I think that's just not the right formulation to try to figure out whether either of these fits the categorical imperative or not. And moreover, I don't know that. I don't know how. I mean, the first formulation it seems to have some sort of a practical use, that you can take a situation and see if it jives with the imperative. But to me, it seems like ultimately, after you do it a whole bunch, you will just end up with the second formulation. Like you'll just realize that this is just how you need to treat people as an end, and not as a means. But the thing is, the first formulation, to me, it seems like it's too subjective because you have to, in deciding whether something fits the imperative using the first formulation, you have to go through some sort of a real Kant uses like a consequentialist approach to decide whether or not it jives. But when you do that, you have to assess something, and you're going to use your subjective understanding of like whether or not that's going to fit, as Professor Deaton was saying. He saw that misleading truth doesn't. Well, I guess both Clinton and Kant had seen that was not going to violate their morals, but so I think the first formulation, you can just be too subjective with it. Okay, the future where everybody's lying to each other. That you're even going to be subjective in your understanding about how bad that future is. Like I think, I don't know who's going to say whether or not the future is going to be worse if people are automatically going to assume that everybody's lying, or people are going to be assuming that everybody's telling misleading truths. I think, to be honest, I think the misleading truths future sounds a little bit more insidious. Like everybody's going to have to be probing at what they're saying, and I don't know. It just seems like a really subjective way to try to see if something is categorically moral. So, I don't know if that's the right way to try to analyze this whole situation. It might work. I mean, the first formulation might work for sometimes, but there's just a possibility of putting your own. Giving yourself the benefit of the doubt in some way, since if you're trying to ask whether or not something you're doing is morally justifiable. So anyway, I've established my problems with the first formulation. I'll say that the outright lie versus misleading truth, if you look at it through the second formulation, I think there is a way you can kind of say that it jives with the categorical imperative, because if you're seeing everybody as an end, and if you're going to tell them an outright lie, I think what you're kind of doing is denying them the right to use their rationality to. You're denying them the truth of the world and their ability to you're denying them as a rational being their ability to the truth, to have access to the truth and decide upon what is to make decisions based on the real world. Right, so there's that.